Welcome to this module on career paths in aviation. A lot of people think that the only option to work as a pilot is to work for an airline. However, today we'll explore the many types of pilot jobs that you can pursue and what each role involves, so you can start thinking about what direction you might want to take in your own aviation journey. Let's start with one of the most well-known paths, right? That's going to be the airline pilots. Airline pilots are responsible for flying large commercial jets safely, carrying passengers across cities, countries, and even continents. In order to become an airline pilot, you're going to need an airline transport pilot license, which we talked about in the last video, or ATP, which is the highest certification a pilot can earn. The roles of these pilots are to ensure passenger safety and comfort is one of the core responsibilities throughout each flight. This career offers a rewarding lifestyle, travel opportunities, and strong career growth for those who end up pursuing it. It's also the most common one and the ones most people aspire to get. So the next one are going to be cargo pilots. Cargo pilots operate aircraft to transport packages and freight for companies like FedEx, UPS, Amazon, focus on logistics instead of passengers. One unique aspect of cargo flying is that there's minimal or no passenger interaction at all, letting pilots concentrate fully on the operation of the aircraft and timely delivery of the goods. Cargo pilots often work variable schedules, including overnight and daytime flights, with trips that can range from short hops to multiple week rotations around the world. So the difference between cargo pilots and airline pilots, it's not really that big. You'll still do trips, you'll visit cool places, the lifestyle is amazing as well. Obviously the main thing is you're transporting cargo instead of people. So if that's something you're interested in, this is also a good option. So the next one is going to be corporate and business jet pilots. These fly smaller jets for high-level executives, celebrities, and VIP clients. They focus on providing a seamless, comfortable, and personalized travel experience. It's more about luxury and professionalism on every flight. These pilots often handle flexible and sometimes unpredictable routes, flying into smaller or unfamiliar airports and making very quick decisions as plans change last minute. This role requires strong interpersonal skills and a high standard of service while maintaining pilot professionalism. So think of like celebrities and stuff. So you pretty much would be flying celebrities or people with a lot of money that would be able to afford private jets and things of that nature. Another important career path, and arguably one of the most important ones, right, is becoming a certified flight instructor, or CFI. So flight instructors are responsible for teaching new pilots how to fly, guiding them throughout their training, building their skills, and helping them gain confidence in the cockpit. For many pilots, instructing is a key way to build their flight hours in order to work themselves up to other jobs. CFIs can also find it very rewarding to see their students' progress while sharing their passion for aviation every day. So for example, in my case, I'm currently a certified flight instructor. We're building up hours to open up new doors. However, there's many cases, and I know a lot of people who start as flight instructors, and obviously they're working themselves up for in terms of their hours to reach other jobs, and then they end up liking instructing so much that they end up making it their profession in the long run. So that's also definitely another option that is definitely available for people. So now let's talk about bush pilots, for those who love adventure. So bush pilots are actually, I feel like when I started learning about aviation, I wasn't even aware that this was a possible job opportunity. So bush pilots operate in like remote and often like inaccessible areas, when there are no roads, such as like small villages or like Alaska or other things like that. They fly in very challenging conditions, dealing with very rough terrain, unpredictable weather, and their job is pretty much to deliver supplies or transporting passengers to places that would otherwise be unreachable. So the bush pilots are actually, in my opinion, it's probably one of the coolest jobs that you can get as a pilot, because you'll be flying in places that are just beautiful. So this is definitely another option that I personally was not aware when I first started my aviation journey, and it's a very cool option to explore. Then there are other options to become medical and rescue pilots. These perform critical missions including medical evacuations, search and rescue operations. These pilots need to have exceptional flying skills and the ability to make quick, accurate decisions under pressure, and often in time critical emergencies. Their specialized training is required to operate safely in these high stress environments while saving lives from the air. So this is definitely one of the most rewarding jobs that you could possibly get as a pilot. You're not only flying, but you're also saving lives. in the process. So if this is something you're also interested in, definitely a good option to look into. So similar to the medical and rescue pilots, firefighting pilots operate specialized aircraft to fight wildfires by dropping water or fire retardants directly onto fire zones. There's some really cool videos on YouTube of planes doing like a low pass and then they dropping water into fires and things like that. They fly in hazardous, high-risk environments, which requires a lot of precise control and rapid decision making, and it's very demanding but very highly respected role in aviation. Another very common role that interests a lot of people in the aviation industry is specializing military pilots that you could consider. There's going to be law enforcement pilots which support surveillance and security missions, while military pilots operate fighters, transport aircraft, and helicopters. And then during this process, you'll gain advanced training and experience. There's also specialized civilian careers like test pilots who can evaluate new aircraft, and do aerial survey pilots who can help with mapping and data collections. And military pilots often transition into diverse civilian aviation roles, which brings their extensive training onto airline, cargo, or corporate aviation careers. So there's a lot of people who do their training, then they go on to the military, they fly fighter jets and things of that nature, and then they transition back into airline, cargo, or other type of corporate aviation careers. So that's also an option. Once you have the experience of flying different planes, and as long as you have the experience, it's really not that hard to transition between all of these industries, which is also another thing to note. But yeah. Thank you for exploring the career paths in aviation with me. I hope this module helped you see the wide range of opportunities available in aviation beyond just flying for the airlines. Whether you want to teach, explore remote regions, help in emergencies, fly internationally, there's going to be a path for you in this industry. And like I said, you can always switch from one to the other as long as you build up your experience and your resume. But if you have any questions or feedback, you can always reach out at info@futurewings.space, and thank you very much for listening.